Hey guys, welcome back to Phil Plays TCG. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, we are going over my thoughts on a potential ban list right before Set 5 New Adventure comes out for the Dragonball Super Fusion World card game. Now, typically, I'm used to in Masters where right before a new set drops, you get a ban list, you get a limit list, you get an errata list. Now, what I will say is that right now I do think this meta is overall very, very good. It's the most diverse meta we've had. We have so many amazing decks, a lot of leaders that are very, very, very viable in this game, but there are still some problems that I think need to be addressed, and overall I think a lot of the community will agree with this. So, before we hop into the video, make sure to hit that like button, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are on our way to 2,500 subs, and I'm hoping to maybe get there before the end of the year. I know we only got about 3 weeks left to go, but I really appreciate any and all support you guys are willing to give if you just want to help support the channel. It's all free here. But hey, thank you for listening to me rant. Typical YouTube stuff out of the way. Let's talk about Fusion World stuff. So, like I said, ban or limit. This is my personal opinion. You are free to let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd really love to talk with you guys about what you think needs to be hit, banned, limited, or errata. Now, typically it does look like Bandai, for this game at least, is not wanting to errata anything. They just rather limit it or ban it, which I think is kind of dumb, but at the same time, I can also understand it. They want the game to be as easy as possible. They don't want to have people remembering additional text or changing of text like they do in Masters, where there's pages of that stuff. But I do think Set 5 is going to be a good opportunity for them to initiate a ban list or errata list and kind of like switch it up. Maybe later on remove something from the ban list as when they add something to it. You know, switch it up a little bit so we can impact the meta, because a lot of decks are running the same exact cards. And it would be really interesting to see a meta where people are going to have to switch things up because this card is no longer there or it's limited down to 1. So we're going to go over that. But I will say that I do have one errata, and that is for Broly, the 8-drop super rare from the Green Star deck. If there is going to be an errata, I think this would be a very easy one. It is simply just errata to Saiyan leaders only. So that means you can only play this card if your leader is a Saiyan, which in green, we have Green Gohan, we have Green Broly. And then, Green Vegeta too, technically, but I doubt Vegeta would ever want to run this card. So, reason I say this, and I'm just realizing I'm saying so a lot, so my apologies. The reason I'm saying that this card should be errata to Saiyan leaders only is because in the deck that it's currently being run in, which is Green Androids, this card is easily able to be played about 1 to 2 turns early. If androids can get on that ramp that they are able to do fairly easily, they're able to play this card way earlier than it was ever intended, thus making it incredibly difficult for people to get rid of it. It does so much. When it gets played, you draw 1, you KO something, and get 2 45k swings. I understand that Green's boss monster needs to be big because Green's whole thing is ramping quickly and it needs to have a huge payoff. I get that. But the problem is, with Green Android specifically, you're able to play this much earlier. So even late game, it's very difficult for most decks to get rid of this card. But being able to play it a turn or 2 turns earlier is just ridiculously difficult. It makes it almost impossible to remove it. And so if they can play this card that early, it's just GG's. Game over. Androids is still one of the best decks in the format because of the combination of incredible ramp with cards like the 4-cost Androids and Gigantic Meteor. Now with 3-cost Nappa, you can essentially ramp 2 cards a turn. So essentially 1 turn, you can ramp 3 energy in a single turn because you have your charge, and then you can ramp twice. So I think this would be perfectly fine to be errata to Saiyan leaders only, requiring androids to then have a different boss monster like Cell or, the 6-cost Double Striker. I think the 6-cost Double Striker is perfectly fine as a boss monster, or Cell is perfectly fine, because guess what? They ramp early, they can get that energy right back. So if we don't get any bans or limits, and if I could only have one thing errata, it would be this. But more than likely this will not get touched, because I would rather actually limit a couple cards, which would be on the next page here. These are my limit to 1. I know what people are thinking. Wait a minute, hold on. Those, you can't touch those. No, here's the thing. I'm a blue player. And I will still admit that Peel Off could be hit and should be hit if other cards were to be hit as well. I think all 3 of these cards here need to be limited to a single copy in each deck, starting with GT Trunks here. This is a brand new card from set 4. It is a rare. It is a 20k body, so already a 2-cost 20k body is great stats. And its ability is when this card is used in a combo from the battle area, which is very easy to do in Black Baby, because Black Baby can then combo stuff in rest mode, allowing you to swing with this card for 20k, and then you pop it off with Baby's ability. When this card is used in a combo from the battle area, add up to 2 non-Trunks GT battle cards with a cost of 4 or less, and Brainwashed or Machine Mutant in their special traits from your drop to your hand. So not only do you get a 20k swing, you then get to take 2 cards from your discard and pull them back to your hand. That could be General Rildo for the Rildo chain. That could be GT Goten, which allows you to bounce a 4-cost. It just grabs 2 combo pieces from your discard pile, so you have now 20k combo power back. There's a lot of amazing play lines for this. Now, sure, you can't loop it because you can't grab itself, but still, the value is there, and I think that limiting it to a single copy means you can do it 1 time, and then you don't have to worry about your opponent just abusing the crap out of this card. Next, we have Androids 17 and 18. This card single-handedly made Androids the weakest green deck to the best green deck, and it has been going strong since set 2. This card is a 4-cost 20k body, so right there the stat lines: 2-cost, 4-cost. Anyway, 4-cost 20k body with 10k combo power, so the card's never dead in hand. On play, place 2 cards from your energy into your drop area. If your leader is Android 17, add up to 3 cards with Android and their special traits from your drop to your energy. And those cards come into play active, not rest mode. So essentially pay 4, discard 2 energy, and then play 3 energy in active mode. So essentially, at the end of the day, this card costs 1 to play. Just 1. And I know what people are going to say. Phil, it's limited to Android 17. You can't play this in any other deck. Doesn't matter. Androids is a very, very good deck, and this card essentially breaks the deck in so many ways because of the fact that it's not limited to 1. But also, I think the main thing is just how it's not... The cards are coming to play active mode, not rest mode. There are turns that I have played against Androids where they have played 3 copies of this card in a single turn. So they ramped 3 energy and played 3 20k bodies on the board that all can swing lethal. So my thoughts were, if you could errata it to have the energy come into play rest mode, that's one thing. Or you can errata this card or you can limit this card to 1, so that way your opponent can't just constantly abuse this card. If they're able to find it early, because they now have 2 to 3 searchers now for Androids, which you're going to easily find this card because you run 4 of it. This card, I think, just breaks Androids. It made it competitive, which is great, but the fact that you combine this card with the green Broly card, allowing you to play this card 1 to 2 turns early, that is the problem. This card is the problem. I don't want to nerf Androids into the ground, but I also don't think that this card should be allowed to be played at 4, or the fact that the energy should be played in active mode. So my solution is one of 2 things. Either limit this card to 1, so that way if you see it through all of your searchers, it's awesome, you're able to ramp 1, and you have a 20k body on board. Or you errata it so its energy is played in rest mode, not active mode. So your opponent can't abuse this card's ability and play multiple copies of this card. You can play this, put 3 energy back in active mode, then play Destructive Strength or Nappa to ramp another energy. It's insane. This card is a problem and needs to be addressed early on, or Green Androids is just going to continuously be a problem deck in the format. And then finally, my boy here, Peel Off. We get it. People say this is Blue's crutch, and I will say Yes, because going down to 1 life against a blue deck, you are just asking to be peel-offed. You can play this card, grab a peel-off, play peel-off, grab a peel-off. You can essentially, for 4 energy, get 50k worth of combo power. Which I think, you know, if you're paying 4 energy to do that, that's worth it, in my opinion. I don't think peel-off is broken, but I can definitely understand people saying it is, because yeah, you could just have 1 peel-off and have the rest of the peel-offs in the discard, and you're doing this chain where you play peel-off, say you're at 7 energy, play peel-off, grab peel-off, play peel-off, grab peel-off. You can use 3 energy to grab 3 peel-offs, combo with them, and then after that, just use your other energy to play peel-off, grab peel-off, play peel-off, grab peel-off. So you're grabbing a bunch of combo power for attack and a bunch of combo power for defense. This card is absolutely busted. So I would not be opposed to limiting it down to 1 on the off chance, and only if androids got hit or Trunks got hit. The 1 cost Hercule in black that allows you to grab a 1 cost card. It actually prevents you from grabbing Hercule. So they learned their lesson. They don't want you to infinitely be able to grab copies of cards like Peel-Off and Hercule. So I think it's perfectly fine that Peel-Off can get hit as long as androids in particular. Trunks is a problem, I will say, but it's not as big a problem as androids is. So I'm fine with Peel-Off getting hit as long as androids gets hit. So that's just my personal opinion, though. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. And finally, what cards do I think should be banned? Nothing. I don't think there's any ban-worthy cards. For a while, I wanted to say Broly was, but I'm salty. Broly is just a really, really powerful card, and I just think it needs to be addressed, but overall, I don't think it's ban-worthy anymore. There's really nothing I would say that's ban-worthy at this point. I don't think there's anything that needs to be taken off the ban list, aka Ribrianne and Roshi. Those cards can stay limited. Stay banned. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about androids, about Trunks, about Peel-Off, about Broly. I would love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video once again. Love you guys, and until the next video, take care.